Hello, I'm Chris Manning, Right Down Euclid senior editor, here with site editor Zak Kolesar and Right Down Euclid contributor Kevin Stankiewicz. The Cavaliers have just selected, about an hour ago, Anthony Bennett, the power forward from UNLV, and they've just even more recently selected Sergey Karasev, the small forward from Russia, and we are here to break that down for you guys. Let's start with Zak. Zak, what do you make of the top overall pick?
Out of those 6 players, you knew that he was going to be, one of those top 6 that was talked about a lot. He was definitely going to be an option there. He wasn't who I had. I had Otto Porter, but the more and more I think about it, Anthony Bennett makes more sense than Otto Porter because I think Bennett is a player who has a lot more to offer because, he's a stretch 4 and he can play. I don't think he'll necessarily play the 3 like in Cleveland, but I think he'll definitely play next to Tristan Thompson. I don't think there's going to be any problems there where you're taking away starting minutes from Tristan or you're not going to start a guy like Bennett right away. So, I think that you're getting a lot more out. You're not getting, a long-range shooter like you would in Porter, but I think you're getting a huge offensive output who Kyrie will love to work with.
Now I'll ask you this before we go to Kevin. Would you have preferred Nerlens Noel or Otto Porter at number 1 over Anthony Bennett?
I would have preferred Otto Porter, but like I said, it does make more sense because Bennett is a player who has more to offer because he can, switch positions. But you know how I thought about Nerlens as the draft went on, and I was surprised that he slipped to 6.
And then ultimately got traded to the
ultimately got
and a big deal.
Drew Holiday in the number 1 pick next season.
Good for him. And Kevin, what do you make of this pick? I know you were a Victor Oladipo guy. What do you make of Anthony Bennett?
Well, I told Zach beforehand that I thought Bennett was going to be the pick just because, not that I wanted him to be the pick, that was just my last minute hunch because it was typical Chris Grant. With Deion Waiters, that's where people toss his name around, but it was a shock when he was picked. That's kind of how I thought it was with Anthony Bennett. I think he's a good player, though. I like he's got an NBA body, I think. It might not necessarily be NBA body specific to a position, but he's not too skinny like was a knock on Noel. He's got a frame that can be durable because he's got a lot of weight on him. I think I like his ability to shoot the ball, something that the Cavs need for one of their front court players. Because if you look at it, Tristan Thompson, weak jump shot, Tyler Zeller, decent. Same thing with Varejao. So I think Bennett, being able to stretch the ball is going to, pick and pop with Kyrie Irving can be a very lethal combination next to the Cavs.
And then that brings up Sergey Karasev, whose main skill looks like it's going to be the 3-point shooting.
A lot of people didn't think he was going to slip.
Yeah, and it's a good value pick of the 19 for the Cavaliers. He's going to come up right away. How would you like to see him utilized this season?
I don't think he's going to get as many minutes. He's definitely not going to get starting minutes, but I think on a position like small forward on this Cavs team, we're going to see Alonzo Gee, at times struggle a lot, and that's going to, like he has this season, where he's just been so inconsistent. Even though he's given like 30 plus minutes and averages 30 plus minutes on the season.
He hit like 17 pointers that hit 0 in another.
And just like how Alonzo Gee took advantage of Omri Caspi's struggles when he came over to Cleveland from Sacramento, I think we're going to see that same thing with Sergey, where he's going to get those opportunities because Alonzo Gee is just not that player who's going to give you the most out of him night in and night out. And that's like 10 points a game and 5 or 6 rebounds at best.
And then Kevin, you were pretty excited about that's the initial buzz I got off of you for this pick. Do you think that feeling? And I know we haven't really seen much from the players in the full Russian, but do you think he could be a starter eventually? Do you think that should be the Cavs' plan?
To be honest, I think that should be their plan a few years down the road. I think you want to be cautious with trying to rush him into the starting rotation right away. He did play against high-level competition in the Olympics last year, so he has played against Olympic-type talent, or NBA-type talent. But I think if you would bring him off maybe in that eighth man role type, it would be really beneficial for him not to be rushed in. And I do like his ability to stretch the floor. And I think, like you talked about, as Axel mentioned it, that a lot of people don't think he was going to be there at 19. Some may say that 1 was a reach for Bennett, but I think it's a consensus that 19 was a really good value for the Cavs. So I think it kind of balanced each other out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you mentioned that he had minutes with Team Russia, and even though he didn't play a lot, but that's right, he became accustomed to seeing the way the pros play and just the culture thing too. And I thought it was great that he came out to the draft actually and was there.
Even if he has a game tomorrow back in his home, he's going to play a game in Montenegro tomorrow.
And a player like Kelly Olynyk wasn't there, but Sergey definitely. That says a lot. I think that means we're going to actually see it because international players are sometimes you have that doubt, even though he went high in the first round. I never had that doubt that he wasn't going to get time to play, but I think he's excited to be on this team.
Yeah, it's just like with some international players, it seems like they just declare to be in the NBA just for the title. With him coming over to the United States, it seems like he was really anxious and wants to be in the United States, not just have his rights taken by a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because sometimes maybe he's saying that sometimes international players see how other international players get rushed and they don't like that. They're like, I want to take my time. Let me still develop in Russia or whichever country that player would be in. And I think that you're just putting something off. I think the more exposure you can get to the style that the NBA has become, especially at the small forward position, which is probably became the most important position in this day and age, especially how LeBron's redefining that. But I think the sooner the better, and I think that's what's going to happen with him. He seems to want to do that.
Yeah, and again, to wrap things up, Cavaliers Anthony Bennett, power forward, out of UNLV, number 1. Sergey Karasev, number 19, small forward from Russia. The Cavaliers have not taken their 31st and 33rd picks yet at the time of this recording, but the second half of this video, we're going to give you some fan reaction to the number 1 pick that Zach and Kevin went out and got while I sat and watched the madness unfold on Twitter.
We didn't hear anything. We didn't know what happened between picks. 3 and 8 or 9?
Well, we saw Zeller go at 4, and then we went out to the concourse.
He came back, and probably the craziest draft you've ever seen. You're going to read about that right on Euclid.com. Your place for that. We're downtown tonight. We look good in suits. We're in between Progressive Field and the Q. It's raining out, so we're going to let you guys go. But follow right on Euclid on Twitter, RD Cavaliers. Check out the latest stuff, and we'll see you guys soon.
The first pick in the 2013 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Anthony Bennett.
What did you think of who the Cavaliers selected number 1 overall? Were you shocked? Did you have any clue that Anthony Bennett would have been the number 1 guy in your opinion?
I think it was an excellent pick. They needed a stretch guy, so they got one. And Anthony Bennett. I was going over him all the time. Him out of Georgetown.
How do you think he's going to fit in, with this team now already has, power forward and Tristan Thompson? Even though, they're different players. Anthony Bennett's a more, explosive offensive guy, where you got a guy like Tristan who we drafted him for defensive purposes.
I think he'd be an excellent fit, especially with Coach Mike Brown. You get him in the weight room, get him offense all shaped up and all that. I think he'd be an excellent fit, an extra compliment for Tristan Thompson as well.
Okay, now, were you guys satisfied with who the Cavaliers selected number 1 overall?
I was so satisfied with that number 1 overall pick. I don't know what to do, man. A versatile player that's versatile. They can play small forward and power forward, and they can give you 15 to 8 boards a game. That's a legitimate first overall round, first pick to me.
So where do you think he fits more? Because you got a starting power forward in Tristan Thompson. You think he fits more as like a stretch type player who's going to play the 3?
Yeah. I feel like he can, put up 15, maybe 11 points, 15 to 16 points a year.
Now, do you have faith in a guy like Chris Pratt, who's selected Deion Waiters last time? to some hesitation. Do you believe in this Cavs front office? Do you think they made the right choice?
I believe in it, but it's about time. Like, we were waiting for so damn long. It's crazy.
So, do you think this season is, a win now season?
Yes, I do think it's a win now season. I think we're either going to have an 8th or 7th seed. We can fall somewhere in that type of category, and we're going to be a force to reckon with in that East.
And you think that is that player that makes him, a force to reckon with?
He's going to bring a lot of toughness, and at this weight, he has to clear his weight very well, and he'll be a good player.
And how do you guys think he's going to work with a guy like Kyrie? How is Kyrie going to make him fit into this offense?
By giving them good looks, good open looks. Kyrie's a mastermind when it comes to, dishing up the pass. So, I think he can do a good job at helping Anthony Bennett become the player that he needs to be.
Now, was Anthony Bennett your guy, number one?
He wasn't, but I understand the pick. He can score, so I think that was probably one of the main reasons why they went with Anthony Bennett. Just trying to surround Kyrie with a lot of scores.
And do you think that complements a guy like Tristan well? They drafted Tristan number 4 back in 2011 for defensive purposes, and now Bennett's more of like an offensive explosion, even though he's a great rebounder and rebounds at a high volume. What do you think about his offensive game, what that brings to this Cavaliers front court?
You mean Bennett's offensive game? Yeah. I think that he's a stretch forward. He can shoot it. He's got a post game. I think he's going to be a well-rounded player. I realize there weren't a lot of kind of slam dunk lock picks to be had in this draft. So you kind of had to go with what you felt was the best possible fit for your team. And Chris Pratt has a history of kind of coming out of left field with his picks. No one really expected him to take Waiters last year. No one really expected him to take Tristan Thompson, number 4, in 11. So it kind of fits with what Chris Pratt has done. It kind of fits with his MO, and I think it kind of fits with the team. Again, just getting those scores to put alongside Irving and Waiters and Thompson if they decide to keep it.
Okay, great. And what do you think this does with the starting lineup? How do you think that's going to affect things? You think Bennett's going to slide in right away?
I don't know. It's all going to depend on what they do with Tristan Thompson, because I don't know that I see him and Bennett being on the roster long term. They both play power forward. I know that you can slide Tristan over to center in some situations. I don't think you want to depend on that for 82 games. And it seems to me that somebody's going to have to go eventually. Might not be right away, might not be this season, but down the road.
Now, Bennett had shoulder surgery, and he put on 20 pounds after that surgery. Is that something that concerns you? Because, with the bigs in this draft, you had Alex Len, Nerlens Noel, they all had injury concerns, so...
Well, that's just it. Try and pick a big in this draft who didn't have an injury concern. They all did. And I figure Chris Grant knows a little bit more about this than I do, just as Joe Fan here in the cheap seat. So I'm sure he did his homework.
And, this is like the second year where Kyrie Irving had an injury, didn't work out that much. Deion Waiters didn't even work out for any team, either than Anthony Bennett, even though he met with the squad. What's your opinion on that? Do you think a workout really matters that much? Because you think you see enough of his game at UNLV that you're satisfied?
My opinion is that when next year's draft comes around, I'm going to figure out who they didn't work out. I'm going to go to Vegas and I'm going to bet on that guy for the Cavs pick.
So when I went up and asked you what was your reaction to the pick, you had a shocked look on your face.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't really know the Cavs plan with this, but they're a lot smarter than I am, and they know the game of basketball, and they know the Cavs team a lot better than I am. So I'm just trusting them that they made the best decisions as far as what's best for the team. I was thinking someone more closer to, and when you think of the first pick, you're thinking of Noel or McLemore, but I hadn't even really thought of Bennett as one. But I'm excited to see how he helps out the Cavs and how he fits into the team.
Now, how do you think this affects other players on the roster, like Tristan Thompson, Tyler Zeller, Alonzo Gee?
Well, I don't know. I hope that they all work together, and that he'll be able to be a good fit and be able to pick up where the Cavs have been lacking in the last season. So I hope that they'll all be able to work together.
Now, thinking long term with guys like Kyrie Irving, Deion Waiters, Thompson, do you think all these guys stay with Bennett?
I I think so. I think they'll stay with him and at least give him a season to see how he works into the team, works into the swing of things.
Great.